Hello, everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope you're all doing okay wherever you are. And welcome along to Bangkok ChitChat Regional Report. Today, we're going nearer home and talking to Andy, a business owner in downtown Bangkok. That's in just a moment. But first, after all the technical difficulties I've had this morning, it's Andrew Sloan, my co-host. How you doing, mate? You were really cool during helping me, I must admit. I was shouting and screaming at you. I can't do this, I can't do that.
Well, also, it's nice to see you managed to get the haircut after all, yeah? And I managed to do it as well.
I didn't notice because you're more, you had it short in the first place, didn't you?
What you're really saying is I'm bald anyway, yeah?
I didn't, but I changed what I was thinking. No, I'll be polite. Yeah, I know. Anyway, you doing all right, buddy?
Yeah, everything's good. Actually been quite busy. Business beginning to start to pick up. I'm quite happy, yeah, just now. I mean, I think everybody's feeling the effects of this and not knowing what's going to be coming. Especially, just now we're going to be speaking to Andrew about restaurant trade and what's happening in the entertainment trade and how it's affected them.
Well, let's bring Andy on then, shall we? And see what's going on in downtown Bangkok.
How about you? What's happening with you?
Me?
Yeah, I've never asked you that question before on video.
Yeah, now you did take me by surprise. Yeah, I'm fine. My life hasn't really changed before or during the COVID. I still do what I do, except I'm not doing any voice work. So I'm not actually earning much money, if any. And my wife, she's at home working from home as well. So I have the family around me. It's quite good, and we're cooking, learning new dishes. When I do drive out, the traffic it's getting worse now than it was before. But yeah, I'm okay. I forgot my mask the other day going into 7-Eleven, and she said, "Well, what do you want?" And I said, "Well, I want 3 large Leos, please." So she went and got them. I gave her the money, and everything was. And I apologized. I just forgot. Took the mask, and and I was polite and nice, and I think she could see that, and she was helpful. So that's it. Look, shall we get on with Andy from downtown? Find out what he's doing.
He's just joining just now.
I love that bell. Avon calling. Hello, Andy.
Hi there. Hi.
Hey there, how are you?
Not bad, not bad.
Okay, now listen, you live downtown and you have a business downtown, so this is really interesting. What is your business and where is it?
So basically what I do is a matcha, we focus on matcha tea. So I have a couple of branches, one in Thonglor, the Commons Thonglor, if you specifically, and also the Commons Sala Daeng, so further downtown. And we also do.
Are you open?
As well.
Are you open?
We are open. Yeah, we're open. We're open. We've been open throughout the whole, lockdown. We're one of the few lucky ones to have stayed open, but yeah, we're open, running like clockwork.
Okay, go on.
The business side. I mean, are you busy? Are people coming in? Are they following the sort of COVID rule of wearing a mask? It's difficult if you haven't got a mask on, but.
Well, look from our standpoint, the Commons were very generous landlord. So as soon as we were forced to lock down, they gave all the tenants a choice. Basically, you could either stay and do pickups and delivery, or if you prefer to just close down completely, there'll be no rental. Because I was already on the delivery platforms before and we were already doing deliveries, we stayed open. I prefer to keep the business running than close it down. So, we were one of the, few lucky ones that could kind of stay open. And in terms of, obviously we have our own safety precautions, wearing masks and gloves and whatnot. But even it's actually quite surprising how many customers came to actually pick up as well. So it was encouraging.
I mean, people coming collecting tea, etc. I mean, you're supplying your ready-made tea, but also to take home. Yeah, you can make your own tea and sell it.
Yeah. So basically, it was interesting because we were always selling the kind of retail side of the tea, and although that was kind of obviously we sold mostly the ready-made stuff, lattes and, you know, pure kind of matcha drinks and stuff like that. When the COVID lockdown came, suddenly there was a sharp increase in sales for the retail side, because there was the whole, you know, hashtag stay home. Everyone wanted to make it at home. And so fortunately, before lockdown, we had already done our matcha sets where people could take the entire set home and make it at home. So those just flew off the shelf. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I've learned from when these places closed down. Everyone seemed to go for deliveries and pickup, but they weren't set up for it. And those ones since then actually have closed because they didn't have the right packaging, they didn't have the right support system, phone system or whatever. But you already had that in place.
Yeah, you're totally correct. So basically what happened, and I saw it quite, you know, quite obviously, was that everyone basically rushed to these platforms, Foodpanda, Grab, Get Delivery, and these platforms, these, by the way, were just inundated with requests. So they had a field day where they could then almost kind of charge whatever commission to get, because people were so desperate to get on these applications.
Yeah, 20%.
Yeah, it's higher than that. I heard some people were getting charged 30% plus even now. So if you combine that, you know, say if your shop is located within a shopping mall, you're already paying commission, probably 20%, if not more, for the shopping mall, plus the 30%, that's 50+%, plus VAT. You know, you're not exactly getting a lot in return. So yeah, they rushed to these platforms, and then a lot of them weren't even prepared to actually do the delivery, as you said. Packaging is important, how well your product is, how well it is deliverable.
Travels,
you know, some things, how well it travels, and then the price point. There's so many factors that you have to kind of factor in to make your product a desirable delivery item. So I think what happened was, after the first month and a half, where people, if they got on the platform, the ones that really weren't set up to make it, they kind of fizzled out.
Right.
So how's everybody else doing there at the Commons where you are? And the other eateries, food and beverage places in Thonglor and Ekamai, are they all following the same rules? Are some of them open, some of them closed? What's the situation there?
Look, I don't. As far as the Commons is concerned, there are, I would say, out of, I think there's probably 20 or 25 tenants. 10 of us remained to continue the delivery. Right now, we all have to open up because rent is now back in the picture, because, you know, the government allows malls to open up. So we have a reduced rate in rent, and so everyone's kind of back. The Commons, to be honest, though, right now is a little quiet. I think there's this post-lockdown syndrome where people are a little bit unsure. It's a bit of a weird time. Like, you know, they've been so used to being indoors and getting all these deliveries. Now you're kind of allowed to go out, but you're not. There's a curfew, and then there's no alcohol. So there's a weird kind of, I would call it like a lockdown hangover, where people are still kind of not really coming out that much. I think, in my personal opinion, as soon as the government lifts the alcohol and the curfew, it will come back to a kind of normal that it was before, hopefully.
I mean, there are statistics, global ones, that all business in general, 25% that have closed will not reopen, and 40% of small businesses, small ones, and this is global, 40% will never reopen again either. Can you see that happening downtown Bangkok? Are there places that won't reopen again?
I know several restaurants that are not opening. I know particularly restaurants that rely heavily on alcohol. So I know the ones that are affected, such as Italian restaurants, fine dining restaurants, where people want to go and it's for the experience of, you know, sitting down, enjoying the food, but also having a glass of wine with your pasta, or, you know, so those, I mean, I have someone that I know who owns, I'd rather not say their name, but who owns a few different chains of Thai and Italian. And he said he's losing close to 60,000 baht a day, because his, basically, even though he's allowed to open, because of social distancing rules, his restaurants are half capacity, and no one even wants to turn up because they can't even drink. Or if they do, they might just order 1 or 2 dishes and then that's it. So he's really struggling, and he's livid for the fact that they have this, he doesn't understand why they have this alcohol ban at all. And so he's, yeah, he's not in a good state. My other friend also owns the beer, like beer establishments. And I don't know if you know the law specifically, but he is basically saying, well, you can buy it, you can go to a supermarket right now and buy beer. You're not allowed to consume it. You're only allowed to consume it at home, right? So his beer bar is open. People can buy the beer from him. He can't open the bottle for them. As soon as the customer tries to open their own bottle, if it's not in their own house, then they are breaking the law. He would also get in trouble. There's even a law that states if he wants to deliver the alcohol to the person's house or condo, it has to be him specifically delivering it, because if he sends it by messenger, Grab Messenger or whatever, they don't have an alcohol license to deliver alcohol. So it's so convoluted and so complicated. And basically, you know how it is in Thailand. When they're looking to get to, right now they want money. they're on the hunt because they've been suffering not getting their cash. And the first industry they hit is the alcohol industry. Easiest target. They're basically pulling up the old law. Well, it's a current law, but the one that states you're not allowed to promote or advertise alcohol, which, by the way, Sing, Leo, Chang Beer all do anyway, right? You've seen the adverts. However, they are now targeting the kind of smaller businesses and saying, oh, you posted a beer from 2 years ago, that's 50,000 baht, that's 50,000 baht, that's 50,000 baht. So my friend had to pay close to 200,000 baht fines for posts he did 2 years ago. It's crazy.
Wow. Wow. What do you see the future? Right. We know that there will be some going back, but you've already stated that you think once they, what's the word, start selling alcohol again, the ones that are financially okay and have got through it will just open and people will start coming back and things will be back to normal?
I don't know. I mean, it's been a slow restart, I have to say. Personally, I'm quite surprised. I thought it would be a bit more, I thought people were a bit more eager to come out. Obviously not. The alcohol factor is definitely there. The curfew factor also. But maybe it's different in different areas. I'm just talking mostly from what I see in Thonglor, which is a very nightlife, you know,
orientated,
area. So, you know, it might be different elsewhere. Sala, Daeng, as far as I'm aware, isn't that busy either. I think, I don't know if the businesses are just going to be able to just start up, and everyone's been affected. Basically, the whole lockdown has affected pretty much, the only people that have gained from it really are from what I've heard, are the applications that promote like home workouts or home, you know, therapies and stuff like that, and obviously all the delivery companies like Grab and Messenger services, you know, those kind of applications.
Listen, we wish you all the best in the future. Have you got any other questions, Andrew? It's like the 3 A's here, isn't it? Triple A here.
That's right, triple A. That's how good we are. Yeah. Anyway, so regards to just a quick thing, how do you think people are being affected within the restaurants with these barriers that are supposed to be the table to separate for social distancing? Because what I hear, you know, the poor restaurateur is getting the flag from the customer because they don't, obviously nobody wants this barrier in front of them. It's like being in prison.
Actually, the new law, which I think was implemented last week, was that now you can take away the barrier. So what happened was at the Commons, before we were going to open up, we set up all the tables, social distancing with the barrier. The military, well, I don't know, the district came with all the guys in the army gear and everything, and then they said, new law, you can take away the barrier, but you still have to maintain the social, you know, the 1 meter distance.
Yeah. Well, you've opened a good question there, Andy. I know we're going on a bit. Sorry, Andrew, if I interrupted. You mentioned people. Were all these laws from the beginning that they were put into force, were they followed up by the authorities, or was it everybody just did what they thought was best, and those that didn't quite do it as strictly as others got away with it, or were there checks on all that?
I mean, it depends on your establishment. I can't say for like the business on a street restaurant, but look, I know for a fact that on the flip side, I know for a fact restaurants on the street are selling alcohol secretly because they're fed up with the whole alcohol ban. So they're serving beer in, you know, the paper cups. And if they get caught, I mean, there could be a random check. If they get caught, that's it, they're finished. They're shut down. Because the Commons is quite a, you know, it's
high
a
profile.
high profile establishment. Yeah, we have checks, you know, they come in district calm. There's usually about 6 or 7 of them, kind of dressed in military gear. We had to put shields, like acrylic shields, all across our bar. And they were checking, you know, the height, whether or not it's, you know, covering the head, and all these regulations. And the thing is, the last thing I want to say though is even though all these things are in place, even though we've kind of put all the tables and, you know, separated people, when people come together as a group, 4 or 5 people, you know, ultimately they just kind of congregate and sit around the same table, and it's almost impossible. What I mean, what are you going to say? Sorry, like, you have to separate. If it's a family of, you know, 5, and it will each sit on a different table, it's a very difficult, sensitive issue, which
you can be
I don't think
you can be fined for that, can't you? If
we could be fined, but again, there are so many restaurants that, I mean, like, you can't control it. It's I think it's uncontrollable. So,
right.
And I think the district.
Andy just dropped
that.
Well, I've got so many phone calls coming in because we got a sort of a family thing going on here in the background. So listen, first of all, Andy, I found it fascinating to get sort of like a hands-on of knowledge of what was going on downtown, because I haven't been down there. And Andrew and myself just wish you, you know, well done for staying open and surviving. And we wish the best for the area as well, because you need the area to prosper, because you're in it and you need foot traffic there and everything. So all we can say is thanks so much for coming on and sharing with us this knowledge, which I found very interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
no problem.
I think what you're doing is fantastic. Everyone has to adapt, including my business. I like to look in the silver linings. I think there'll be something good coming out of this, where we've adapted things, open new distribution channels, etc. People are going to be changing. We have to change with it. And I think in the next couple of months, especially when they start promoting local tourism, people will be more relaxed and be more open to be going to go out. I must admit, when they lifted things in the pubs, I probably won't be going out for another week or so. I want to make sure all the pipes and things are all cleaned within in the pubs. Yeah. So I don't get an upset stomach. Otherwise, I'm going to be back in lockdown, but it won't be because of COVID.
No, you'll have the Bangkok belly. So Andy, thanks ever so much for joining us, and do come back on again at some point to see how you got on. So we do the aftermath, okay?
Yeah, we'll do an update. Hopefully, it's good news.
Lovely.
Cool, mate.
Right.
Okay, we're going to say goodbye to you now, and me and Andrew will just stay on for a couple of minutes. Okay.
All right.
So
All right.
these
Cheers.
Andrews are confusing. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right. See you later.
Bye-bye, mate. Bye-bye. 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 So there we go. That was interesting. I thought it would be because I never go down there. I didn't hardly go down there when it was open.
Well, I'm fascinated with the very fact that he's running a business with teas, yeah, and it isn't just normal like tiddly tea, yeah.
Yeah.
It's lots of different teas, and I was actually amazed from some friends who came across here and they said, "Where can we go and buy tea?" There's, it's a great business he's in, and the fact that he can do deliveries, and he's got that retail side is fantastic. Oh, you're about to drop yourself.
Yeah. Well, I keep getting calls coming in. Yeah. So look, I'm going to have to go. I think I'm recording this or something because there's a red button just come on. Anyway, mate, don't forget, guys. Please subscribe and like, and we'll try and. Yeah, we'll try and get some more content. I want to go to his tea shop and see how he makes it all, because he's got the bamboo brushes, and I mean, he does top end stuff, and whole process. And I've said to him, we might try and get the cameras down there one day and do a sort of spotlight type jobby or something.
Great.
Like that. Okay, then, Andrew, take care. You guys take care, and we'll meet again some sunny day.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.